Hey everybody, this is Paige Corley, and I am coming to you from Salt Lake County Aging and Adult Services. And today I am doing the Brain Health Workshop Part 2, and we're going to be talking about exercise and how it helps with building cognitive reserve. If you are wondering where Part 1 is, go back into the Salt Lake County um, Aging and Adult Services YouTube page, and you can find the Brain Health Workshop Part 1. And on that video, we go over what brain reserve, cognitive reserve is. We go into more detail about what this series is about. So go back, watch that, and then come back and watch this because we're going to be talking about exercise today. But before we get into that, I do want to do just a little refresher and remind you that we are talking about cognitive reserve. And cognitive reserve is basically, as we age, we're going to experience decline. I mean, it's inevitable. You're going to experience some decline as we age. The amount of decline and how quickly that decline progresses has to do with a variety of things. Genetics is one of them, but also how healthy we are. So again, that comes kind of down to some lifestyle choices. As you can see on the slide here, when we don't have a lot of cognitive reserve, when we don't have a lot of fuel in our tank, so to speak, we're going to hit that point of decline quicker, and it's going to be a much steeper decline. Whereas if we have more cognitive reserve or more fuel in our tank, we can go longer without feeling the effects of that decline and damage. And when we do, the decline might not be it might not be as sharp or as quick. So we want to learn how to build cognitive reserve, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Remember that when we age, like I mentioned, yes, we're definitely going to experience some cognitive changes during aging, but they really should be manageable and slight. So we're looking to be those top green lines on the slide, maybe the light blue line. And remember that, as we age, we might experience some changes, some little things that are going on, but they don't get in the way of our activities of daily living. Nobody really notices them. They might bug us, but they're not impacting our ability to live. The next stage is that mild cognitive impairment, and that's when those closest to us, our friends or our family, they notice, hey, some things are going on. You're forgetting things, or your behavior is changing. But we're still able to live by ourselves. Our activities of daily living are not really affected in that mild cognitive impairment stage. If that mild cognitive impairment advances into dementia, we have the different stages of dementia. And when we get into dementia, that's when it starts to affect our activities of daily living, and we start to need help to be able to do activities of daily living. So what we want to do is build that cognitive reserve so that we can minimize or get rid of the possibilities of us developing dementia and other diseases, but we're talking specifically about brain health. So as I went over in the first video, there are 6 steps that we're going to review: exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress, community, and novelty. And novelty is learning new things. But today we are going to go over exercise. And if you know me, I love exercise, and I love talking about exercise. And you've heard me talk about exercise, I'm sure, to where you're like, I don't want to hear you talk about it anymore. So we're going to go over some new ways specific to the brain that exercise is beneficial. So exercise actually reshapes our brain. When we exercise, it has that much of an effect on our physical body and our brain that it reshapes it. And here are 5 different ways that exercise reshapes our brain. One is neurotrophin release. Another is enhanced hippocampal neurogenesis. We also have reduced neuroinflammation, improved cerebral blood flow, and exercise promotes structural reorganization within the brain. I'm going to go over each one of those and put them into language that we all might be able to understand. If you already understand it, great, you're done. For people like me, I need a little bit more explanation of what these things mean. That's what we're going to do now. So the first thing is the neurotrophin release. And neurotropins are basically a type of protein that help the survival, function, and development of neurons. And neurons are cells that are located in our brain and our spinal column. So we can develop new brain cells as we age. And the neurotropins is a nutrient basically that helps the development of these new brain cells. And our brain cells have to communicate with each other for us to be able to function. So we want healthy neurons. So when we exercise, those neurotropins are released. They help to their nutrients. They help with the function, the survival of the development of new neurons. So we want new brain cells, and we want those brain cells to be healthy. So exercise does that. Also, it enhances hippocampal neurogenesis. So what does that mean? That means the development of new neurons in our hippocampus. And the hippocampus is the part of the brain that helps with memory. I'm not going to go into super detail about that, but we have a part in our brain that's called the hippocampus. It is where our memory, once that hippocampus is damaged, that's when memory starts to go, and we have trouble retrieving memory. And so we really want new neurons in the hippocampus, and exercise does that specifically, which is really great. Exercise also reduces inflammation, not only throughout our whole body, but specifically in our brain. And inflammation, many times, especially in the case of chronic inflammation, meaning ongoing inflammation, that can be very detrimental to our body system. So if your brain is constantly inflamed, it's going to have a negative effect on the brain. And when we exercise, we actually reduce any inflammation that is in our brain. So you can imagine if you have a cut on your arm and you keep scratching it and it stays inflamed, it's not going to heal very well. And it's going to heal very slowly. And it might even actually not heal and cause other problems, other skin problems. So exercise helps to reduce inflammation that we have in our brain, and of course, in other parts of our bodies as well. So there's another way that exercise helps specifically to our brain. It also increases cerebral blood flow. So when we exercise and we increase our heart rate, that means more oxygen is going to our brain, and our brain loves oxygen. It's so important to our body. You've heard that a brain starved of oxygen, brain cells die. And once those brain cells are dead, it's very hard to regenerate specific brain cells. I know we can develop new brain cells, but maybe not always specific ones, especially in the case of lack of oxygen to the brain. So we want increased blood flow to our brain, but not only that, increased blood flow brings oxygen, but also brings other nutrients that our brain needs, such as glucose and a whole bunch of other things. And also the blood flushes out toxins that we have in our brain. So it comes in, it gives our brain a whole bunch of good stuff, and then it takes a whole bunch of bad stuff out. So anytime we can increase that heart rate, it increases the blood flow to our brain, and it really helps to bring nutrients and flush out toxins. And then lastly, exercise promotes structural reorganization, which basically means this is the brain's ability to change, adapt, and function as we age. So it's almost like a use it or lose it, right? When we use our brain on a regular basis and we use our body and keep it healthy, that brain is going to reward us with its ability to adapt to the new demands that are put on it. And so structural reorganization should be a part of normal aging. Our brain should be able to handle aging and be able to change and adapt as needed. But if we have an unhealthy brain, that's going to be mitigated or affected. So when we exercise, it really helps our brain's ability to do that. And we want to change and adapt, and we want to be able to change and adapt. I think we all learned that during the pandemic. If you can be in certain circumstances and see that you need to change or adapt to those new circumstances in order to thrive and survive, you're going to be doing good. And it's the same thing for our brain. So exercise in the brain, those things that we just went over, that's how it really helps to reshape our brain. But just engaging in exercise, in physical activity or exercise, whatever you want to call it, 1 to 4 times a week was associated with a 33% reduced risk of memory decline compared to non-active individuals. So even as little as 1 time per week of moving your body can help reduce your chance of memory decline. And, to simplify this, a healthy body, a healthy brain, a healthy heart is more resistant to disease. So the healthier you can be, the more resistant you're going to be to disease. And that's a very simplified way of saying, hey, exercise. Exercise is good for your brain. It keeps it healthy. It keeps it bright and pink and full of blood and full of oxygen. And that way, as we age, it can adapt and stay healthy and resist disease. All right. So now you're probably asking, well, come on, Paige, what kind of exercise do I need to do? Good news. Any exercise, anything that increases your heart rate. That could be walking. It could be running. And it could be lifting weights. I'm going to talk about weightlifting because it's super important. You could do a group exercise class that gets your heart rates up and keeps it up the whole time. You could do an exercise class that takes your heart rate up and then you relax, and then it takes it up and then you relax. In interval training, you can swim, you can bike, you can play a sport. You could do flow yoga, yoga where you're moving a lot, keeping that heart rate up. Go dancing. There's all sorts of ways to increase your heart rate. Anytime we increase it, even sometimes just getting up and walking around our house, right? That's going to count as exercise. So any type of movement, start small and progress, right? Start easy and then slowly progress to hard. That way you can do it without getting injured. I do want to put an extra plug out there though for weight training. The benefits of weight training are threefold. They're really like gazillion fold, but I'm going to talk about 3 major things. When you lift weights, especially weights that actually challenge you and overload your muscles, that's going to increase your heart rate. So right away, you're exercising. When you lift weights, you build strength. And when we build strength, we're more independent. When we're strong, we can carry our grocery bags. When we're strong, we can stand up off of the toilet. When we're strong, we can walk our dog or play with our kids or grandkids. When we're strong, we can travel, live alone. All of those things are increased when we have strength. We also build muscle, and muscle itself can be beneficial to the body, to reducing risk and symptoms of metabolic disease, such as type 2 diabetes. When we exercise, the muscle pulls on our bones, and that reduces our risk for development of osteopenia and osteoporosis. So when you lift weights, not only do you become stronger and build muscle, but you also are helping to increase your bone mass density. So you're hitting so many things when you do strength training, and all of them are so important. I know some people have a real aversion to lifting weights, but it's really, really important. And I challenge you to go through your day today and tomorrow and notice how many times you're actually lifting something. Your laundry basket, your grocery bag, your cat or your dog, getting something down from the cupboard that might weigh something. There's all sorts of times in our daily life that we lift things, and we want to make our body capable of doing that. So that's my extra plug for weight training. The other thing is, remember that Salt Lake County Senior Centers, we offer a variety of exercise classes. Zumba, we offer general exercise classes, yoga, seated yoga, standing yoga, Tai Chi. We offer enhanced fitness, the Arthritis Foundation exercise program, Walk with Ease. There are a lot of classes that we offer that you're going to be able to go to for free if you're over 60, meet other people, create a community, have fun, and exercise. So if you haven't looked at Salt Lake County Senior Centers, please do. Salt Lake County Parks and Rec, they have wonderful programming there. Check them out. And of course, there's a lot of private entities around Salt Lake County, the Valley. If you chose to go that way, that would benefit you as well. So lots of options for you. Just to review, there are 6 steps that we're going to go over in this series. This is a 7-part series. So this is December of 2024, and I'm doing exercise. In January of 2025, I'll be doing nutrition. February, we'll be going over sleep. March, we'll be going over stress. April, going over community. And May, we'll be going over novelty, which is learning new things. And we'll be talking about how much they affect building cognitive reserve. These videos will be less than 20 minutes. I hope you join me. I just got to do a shout out to the Institute of Clinical Excellence and the Division of Modern Management of the Older Adult. That's a physical therapist organization who provided the slides to us. Wonderful organization. Appreciate them. And also, if you have questions for me, my email is pcorley@saltlakecounty.gov. pcorley@saltlakecounty.gov. And my phone number is 385-468-3083. Please contact me if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.